Okay. So what I was gonna do in this session was, quickly again, touch base on few more constructs. Uh, hey, one other question I forgot to ask was, okay, expiry and this and that is fine. How about that initial discussion we had on the the message flow itself? How to use those nodes, the pipeline route. Is that a little clear, or is it still a little vague?
No, it's kind of clear here.
I'm sorry.
It's kind of clear. Yeah, it's fine, I guess.
Okay, Ashwini.
There's one question, sir. Are we going to have a separate section on the error handling thing also? Because that will also be part of the notes that we use, right? I mean, specifically how to implement the exception handling and error handling.
Yeah, I mean, in the sense that, see, even though it is everything is done in the notes. With the discussion yesterday, I just focused specifically on one learning point, which is like understanding how to use the nodes, how to tie them up, various nodes in a message flow as such. But from error handling perspective, yes, we will deal with that in another session. So just from a message flow construction, was that clear, Ashwini? Okay. Okay. So here, I just want to finish up going through a few more things, like construct that you can use within OSB. That way, you guys are aware of these features. And and we'll also talk through labs, guys. For this little more concrete labs. That way, you guys can work out those examples, or else it will just be theory. Okay, this is we have something called like a publish action, right? This Now let's say as part of your message flow, right? Um, yeah, if you and using this publish action, you can like invoke another service, a one-way service, and then you are not waiting for anything after that. You invoke, and the calling service will invoke, and then it will move on. Okay. So and the service that is being called, that service might do the work, and it can take its own time, right? So there is no tie between that other service processing and this service waiting for this. Nothing like that. It's not synchronous per se. So if and there usually there will be like many such needs, in various scenarios. So if you have to do anything like that, then you would have to use a publish action. And Of course, the when the service that is calling and the service that is being called, of course they will be executing on different threads, and that's what makes it asynchronous, right? If any of them were like waiting or this or that or on the same thread, then it will be synchronous. Okay, so this is what. So let's. So in order to do that, let's say, for example, 1-way notifier service. Okay, so essentially this service, this is the one service that will be called by other services using a publish action, right? First I'm building the service that will be called. So let's say this is the notifiers uh, service. Okay, notification service. Notification service. Notification service. Since we are saying it will be one way, let's say messaging service, and you can say just a text. So basically, this will receive text, and then transport. We can leave it at HTTP, and then in message flow, message flow. So this service can here again. It's now since you guys are little used to this whole thing, right? This service can maybe do some processing and then call some business service or whatever, right? So ultimately, this notification service will be called by various services by through publish action. Okay, so let's assume that this service basically um, kind of does some work. For now, just make it simple. We will just log what it is doing. Okay, so let's say we'll just do dollar body here. Okay, dollar body and notification service. Okay, notification service, and then let's change this to 1. Okay, and we can just leave it as that, right? Then we'll create another project, and we'll call this one way service client. Okay, one way service client. So first we'll configure a business service to invoke the notification business service. Now, um, see what okay. So basically, we created one-way notification service, right? Now I'm creating another service, another project in which I'm creating a business service, right? Now this notification service proxy service is a endpoint, right? It's an endpoint, and now there could be a business service configured that will be calling that endpoint. Is that point clear? Because a business service can be configured to call some external endpoint, right? So and a proxy service is an external endpoint, right? That's how any client or any service outside of OSB is able to call it. It is available externally. So from a business service perspective, proxy service or any other external service is the same. Okay. So now, in order to configure this proxy service to be called by this business service, I need to get the endpoint URL for this proxy service. Okay. So for that, this is the endpoint URI of this. In order to invoke that proxy service, right? So when I'm creating this business service, I will create the URL, right? Uh, 23501 Okay.